Hello and welcome back to Ferris Esports. I'm Coach Eaton here with my guest.
I'm questionable. You can call me Jalen.
Jalen, Mr. Jalen. How are you doing today? How are you feeling about today's league matches?
I am excited. I am ready for action. How are you feeling about this?
Feeling phenomenal. Definitely going to come out here ready to watch this Fair State Bulldog team come out and get this easy dubs. That's what
Right.
I've been told.
That's what you always hope for from your school. You hope that the boys will just pull through, get the dub, easy 2-0 game.
Yes, I've been grinding Assassin Garen in rank top, so I really want to
Mm,
see. I want to see Jonesy, I believe, is a top laner, and pull that out. People aren't ready for the burst. They're just like, oh, okay, it's Garen, right? He's gonna sit there, he's gonna spin for forever, and nothing's really gonna happen, and then bam,
right.
Gale Force, and you're like, wait, extra movement on Garen? That's why they nerfed Stridebreaker. Right?
It would always be exciting to watch, but I don't know if that entirely fits Jonesy's play style. But hey, if he did pull it out, no complaints here. Rest assured.
Absolutely, absolutely. Looks like the team is getting set up in the lobby here. It looks like they're remaking the lobby for some reason, but that's okay. We got on spectator, so we are doing our job, which is always good to see. But yeah, what kind of surprise picks are you hoping that they pull out here today?
Surprise picks. Well, first off, I'm hoping that they don't hard ban out Dolphin. We get to see him on some of his conference picks. He hasn't been able to shine all season so far, really. But hey, hopefully today is the day. And I know Mako's been playing some different things lately in her solo queue game, so maybe she could pull something out.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely interesting that other teams have identified Dolphin and they're like, hey, we're not gonna let your mid laner play the game.
Yeah.
So 5 bans. It's kind of a compliment as a player when the other team will kind of pull out 3 to 5 bans on you. As much as a compliment it is, though, you hate to see it and you don't want to be on the receiving end of it because it is absolutely no fun. So.
It's a big ego boost, but then you're like, I don't know if my champ pool is this big. I'm gonna.
I'm stuck on my 6th best champ. I don't know how I feel about this.
Right.
So.
So sixth best competitive champion. This isn't even solo queue, so
Yeah.
you're really digging deep right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What do you kind of feeling is the meta overall during your guys' scrims games? Is there kind of a meta establishing, or is it kind of up in the air right now?
I feel like different teams prioritize different things, and it's mostly about like how well your team is like aware of like what their win cons are and how proactive they are in trying to achieve them. So
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough. How important is team comps in this 5v5 format as opposed to something like solo queue?
I would think it's as important, but as Ferris has shown at the last games, it hasn't truly been that important. Ferris has been, I want to say, getting outdrafted in the 5v5 comps, but been doing really well in the team fight. So I feel like if you're just mechanically solid enough, you could probably just like overcome the differences because a lot of champions and items are just so strong right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of that too with collegiate teams, especially in these type of divisions where the B team today is playing. It comes down to a lot of each individual person, how they feel on each of the champs. It's the same thing. Like some champ might theoretically be better if you played it exactly perfectly, but are you going to play either of the two champs perfectly? No. So play the one that you're better at.
Right, especially, none of us are like challenger or grandmaster. We're not reaching like the 0.01% of players in the world. So, just play what you know best and, that way you could just carry yourself in what you know how to do and you're not just learning stuff on the fly.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen that in the ranked Overwatch games that I play up in Masters. People would just be like, "Oh, hey, this person's good, so I'm just gonna play them." And it's like, "Well, you haven't put hours in on them." It's like, "Yeah, but they're good, right? So it's okay." And you're like, "It's like Doomfist, like or Genji, like some of these a little more skill expressive, like timing oriented champs, and they're just kind of getting blown up and going, "Hey, I thought this was broken." It's like, "Yeah, if you play it correctly,
Yeah.
but if you throw no matter what character you're on."
Anything's broken if every minute detail about it. But if you don't know what the character does or how they interact with other characters, I mean, in this game you're pretty much just a walking ward.
Yes, yeah. Okay, I haven't heard that one before. Always a good one. Looks like all the teams are in the lobby, and the chat is broken, or I just can't see it. Hold on, we're gonna try to get the where nobody talked, but I can't talk either.
By this point, I think the chat would be up, so I think it's just a lobby bug.
Classic, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever wrong with the league client, that's for sure.
Yeah, best client, in NA right here and in the world. Just they pour billions of dollars into it right here.
Yeah, that's billions of dollars in the League client. One thing that's interesting about League is they have the separate client. Not a lot of games have a specific program that runs right away, and then you load into the game separately from that program.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think it's a, a blessing and a curse that they did that. The blessing in the case that you couldn't load in 140 champs, with all their different skins on it would be really cumbersome for a lot of these computers as well.
Right.
And so it allows lower end computers. It's a free game. They want as many people to play it as possible. It allows those lower end computers to kind of still continue to run the game without putting excess workload on it.
Right. I know that helped me out a lot when I was back in high school, first starting to play the game, and I was on a really, really crappy laptop. It just it didn't run too well, but you could just have a setting so that this client closes in the background while the game is running, and reach 40 FPS and
Yep.
just do your best.
Yep. Team fights are 5, but you're playing Kennen or something. Just closing your eyes like, yo, let's get him. I feel that though. Yeah. Yeah, I complain when I drop down to like 120. I've got a 240 hertz monitor, and I'm like, all right, 120 is still very good. I shouldn't be complaining. That's not the reason I suck. So.
I'm like, oh man, now I gotta find another excuse.
For sure. It looks like they are doing the draft, but we don't get a spectator link. So we're going to be chilling here for a couple more minutes, and then we are going to view the actual draft in-game when they actually decide their characters. But if you're Fair State, what kind of things are you banning out? I know we haven't taken a look at their OPGGs yet, but do you have any? Are you banning something specific per that individual, or are you kind of banning some champs you hate to play against?
Looking at the rank disparities right now, I do see we have a plat 4 support against a bronze 1 support. You might want to ease up that lane, and a silver 1 ADC. You might want to ease up that lane for the bot lane. You also might want to start banning out a couple of mid lane picks because Dolphin is someone you can rely on to take over a game if he does get a lead. But that is situational. Moist Orgashrooms, very common. Only known to play 2 champions, Lee Sin and Kha'Zix.
Yep.
And it's not often that both of those champs get banned out. So if you could pretty reliably guess which champions he's gonna play.
For sure. Yeah. Interesting to see. Is there a specific reason why he only plays Lee Sin and Kha'Zix? Is it just the amount of hours that he's played on him? Just comfort? Do those champs play similar enough to kind of transfer skills?
I don't think so. I mean, I think they play well with his certain play style. Like, they're very good at invading and they're very elusive, but the goals that they actually want to achieve, I wouldn't say so because, Kha'Zix is a much more bursty assassin kind of guy. He wants to get isolated carries, whereas Lee Sin wants to isolate the carries himself in the team fight. He's much more tanky, and he falls off a lot worse than Kha'Zix does in the late game.
Definitely. Last week we saw him come out on that Lee Sin, get behind a little bit after that failed invade, but even with behind, he came out, made a big impact for both mid and bot lane, and got his bot pretty fed, which was good to see. Hey, giving up, realize I'm behind on the farm. I'm never going to catch up in this matchup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my teammates fed and let them carry me to the win at the end.
Right, it's a sign of a good jungler. Like, hey, I tried to do what I normally do. That didn't work out, so time to, do something more standard, and it ended up working out for the team as a whole. And he's like, you know what? If they get back in the game, that's my best opportunity for myself to get back in the game.
Absolutely.
And it worked out for him.
Yep, definitely there. So you said you did hear Mako playing some more stuff in ranked. Do we get a sneak peek of what that is? Do you think they're going to pull it out today, or you think they're stick with the same thing?
I do not remember what they were practicing.
Yep, I know Jonesy likes to pull out those kind of split pushing champions, going, hey, I'm going to play a tankier champion in the top lane, and I'm just going to shove over and over and over again until we break their nexus. Do you think that's something they're going to pull out, or in this 5v5 setting, are they going to play a little bit more team-oriented?
That is something Jonesy specializes in. He team likes to just stay as 4, and then Jonesy just goes off and does what he does. And most of the time, people can't just leave Jones by himself. Otherwise, he's just taking towers. He's not afraid to tower dive people either. So, towers will fall, inhibs will fall if Jones is left to himself. So they have to send at least 2 people. And once they start doing that, then dragons start falling and barons start falling. So
yep.
I do
you
think
relieve so much pressure by playing a champion that requires 2 people to come. Like Trundle, it's like, okay, come at me. I'll just hit you over the head repeatedly until I get to walk away. Do you think Ferris is going to pull out any kind of surprise picks here today?
You never know what to expect with Mans. If we do see a surprise pick, I would expect it in the ADC role.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, they might ban out that Draven, and he might pick something interesting to see for sure. And he did. I do believe he got the win in a collegiate match in all 5 roles, correct?
Not yet, I believe. I don't think he's done it in support or jungle yet. Wait, no, he's done it in jungle. I don't think he's done it in support yet. Okay. So I think that's the last role he's waiting to get a win on before he get his award.
For sure. Hopefully if they go up early in the series, I'd like to see them kind of pull that out, see what they can do about that.
Right. I know, Mako was in the chat earlier talking about playing ADC today. So that isn't an impossibility. That is, 5% chance is not zero.
Definitely, definitely. I know she hypes up her Aphelios. It'd be fun to see her on that champ with Mans in the support role alongside it as well.
Right. Mans did also bust out the Janna top lane pick one
Yes.
game, so that is at least one support champion we know that he knows how to play.
Yep, yep. Unintentional, but they actually won that game. So
They did. That's where he got his top lane win from.
Yeah, that's actually kind of impressive. Yeah, I figured they would be over now, so we're just kind of chilling. But let's see how long it's going to take before they get into. Let me send a message here. We've been burning time. It's been 18 minutes. Just hanging out. All right. Well, with that, we're waiting on them to ready up. So the pro draft has been completed, and we are waiting on Northwestern University. Hold on. Yeah, Northwestern University to ready up, and then we will head into in-game.
On the bright side, this does mean we get a faster, actual draft, hopefully.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. We're live. All right, let's see what we get here. This is going to be new for both of us.
Yes, absolutely.
You get the Zeri Ben, the newest champion in the game. Pretty strong if you know what you're doing with her,
Yep. Yep.
And they ban now at least one of Moist Ogre Shroom's champions. We get the Kha'Zix ban, so if they don't ban out the Lee Sin, I would expect him to be on that this game. You get the Nunu ban. That's not something you see very often, but, it is one of those really tanky junglers. And Northwestern bans out the Victor, one of Dolphins' picks. As we stated earlier, he gets banned out pretty much every game. And Aurelia is the last ban on Ferris' side for round 1. And Vladimir, Dolphin gets 2 bans, as always. Wouldn't be surprised if Mans decides to stick him on the Corki as per usual. And Jonesy gets the Scion pick into a Mordekaiser. That's a really good, really solid lane for Scion. He's not too at risk of dying to Mordekaiser.
Definitely.
And then later in the game, he just gets so much health. I mean, Mordekaiser can kind of drain tank off of him, but he's not really ever going to be killing him.
Yeah, if the Mordekaiser does manage to grab an ult as Scion's low and it pick up that kill, it's going to be a terrifying Mordekaiser till the Scion comes back.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it's not something that if you just grab that Scion in that 1v1, as the Mord, you don't feel like, oh yeah, this is a free win. It's like, okay, I still have to win the 1v1 in this situation.
We see the Poppy versus Lee Sin matchup coming out in the jungle, and Dolphin does get stuck on the Corki as expected. He's going to be going up against a Veigar. Pretty solid lane for Corki. He has so much range. He isn't really scared of anything Veigar has in his toolkit in the early mid game.
Yeah, late game, Veigar is always a threat.
Right,
just constantly getting scarier as the game progresses. But yeah, seeing that Corki come out going to be interesting here.
This could be really terrifying. You do see that Northwestern has a Mordekaiser and a Poppy. Their front line is already really solid. If they have a really good support they have support that's really good at enabling Veigar, such as like a Yuumi or a Seraphine or something like that, that could be terrifying.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see who they decide to pick for ADC here. I don't think there's really any bad picks for ADC that we can see. Lucian. I heard Lucian isn't all too strong right now. I wanted to play him the other day, but Mans was like, I don't know about that one. Going up into Caitlyn, that's a really tough lane. Caitlyn has so much range over Lucian.
Yeah.
And we see the Seraphine Caitlyn bot lane with the Nami support. That is one of the supports I was thinking about when talking about enabling Veigar. Her E does boost the damage of abilities. So,
Oh, jeez.
Nami E's Veigar, he ults. That thing's doing like 2,000 damage at 20 minutes.
That's no fun there. But how do you see kind of which lane do you want to look to watch here? What lane are we kind of isolating and going, hey, I think this is going to be kind of a volatile matchup?
If you want to count it as a quote-unquote lane, I would say jungle. Moist Orchestrums is known for being an extremely aggressive jungle and just impacting the map overall. He really does love ganking his lanes. But if we're looking at actual lanes, I'm not too sure. Maybe bot lane. Top lane is really passive. I don't expect a whole lot to go up there, going up there unless someone misplays like really critically. And then Dolphin, he'd probably be looking to like aggressively trade with the Veigar, but Veigar is more than likely just going to be hiding away, trying to get his own stacks.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we do see Moist Orchestrums kind of on that Kha'Zix Lee Sin 2-trick. Why isn't it that a team has banned out both yet? Does he play on like separate account in ranked where he plays like one and then one the other, or does he play both on this account?
He does play both on this account. Those are really the only two champions that he plays. So it is, I want to say, interesting that they decide to two-ban the mid laner instead of the actual two-trick on the team.
Yeah, you feel like the meta here would be to just, hey, that guy plays two people. Let's just take them both away. And it's not like somebody who's like, oh, well, they're consistently playing five. Why we don't want to burn all of our bans to target one person. But if you can target the comfort picks with just two, I feel like it's worth it.
Right, if you are like a one-trick in the game, like me, I was a ADC Gen 1-trick a while ago. Our top laner for the main team, he's known as a Kled 1-trick. He doesn't play Kled as much anymore, but other teams don't realize that.
Yeah.
That's almost a guaranteed ban pretty much every game. But if you're a two-trick, it's not uncommon to get one ban. Like, as we see here, they assess that, like, hey, we're probably more scared of the Kha'Zix than we are the Lee Sin. They probably think Lee Sin's a pretty mechanically difficult champion. It's a lot of room for error. We could probably, like, catch him slipping or something.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Yeah, and that's the thing, too, right? Pro Lee Sin is a whole different ball game than the Lee Sin down here, but Moist Orchestrums is very good on that champion. We've seen him pull up some pretty crazy stuff with that as well.
Right.
Now we're waiting on the spectator delay. Shouldn't be too long before we get into the match itself. Pretty interesting matchup. Like you said, that top lane going to be quite passive. Two big tanks. Not going to do a whole lot to each other unless somebody really steps out. But Sion is known to kind of shove those towers late and just continue to ult down the side lanes over and over. Ult, teleport, and next thing you know, the 0-20 Sion's punching your Nexus, and it's GG's.
Right, normally, you have an 0-10 teammate. You're thinking, man, this guy's throwing. There's no possible way we can win this game. But, Sion is an exception to that rule.
Absolutely.
He really doesn't care about dying. His ult does damage to towers, plus his passive just increases his attack speed and damage so much. If he has Demolish, towers are going to be falling left and right. There's no help.
Yep. I would definitely expect him to pull that Demolish out here. It really helps. Sion isn't too great at taking towers early, but that Demolish just lets you chunk it quite a bit.
Right, for those who don't know, Demolish does do bonus damage based on how much bonus health you have, and Sion does have infinite stacking health on his W, so, late game, Sion is nigh one-shotting towers with just Demolish, let alone his ultimate.
Yeah, the ult down the middle, let it go, hits both of the Nexus towers. Can we, all getting 75% plus of the Nexus tower's health. If you're, oops, well, we hear the Sion ulti sound. Next thing you know, your towers are gone. You're, we need it back faster than we thought. So.
Right, you're looking around the map like, okay, who's not in position? Who do I have to be on the watch for? And like, oh, it's my towers. My towers didn't dodge the skill shot.
Towers didn't dodge. Unlucky there. As we're loading into the game itself. Interesting to see how Moist Orchestrums starts this out. Invading is definitely something that Ferris is a big fan of doing.
Right, looking at both these teams, I wouldn't expect a level 1 invade from either side. Both teams have pretty bad invade, but if you look, both teams do have really good counter invades. So, like, if one team were to stack them into which, say, Northwestern were to invade, you have the Sion Q, you have the Seraphine E to stun. Kaylin Q does AoE, and it does really good damage. But if Ferris were to invade and they were to get caught out, you do have Mordecai can pull everyone in. Poppy can stun someone on the wall. Veigar has his cage. So, both teams have really good counter invade, but neither team has a really good actual invade.
Understandable.
Right, looking at starting items, pretty standard across the board. A little confused on the D shield on the Mordekaiser. I wouldn't think, if I were Mordekaiser, I wouldn't expect to be getting poked out enough to think that D shield would be warranted. But maybe that's just how the matchup goes. Aside from that, we see a mostly standard 5-point from both teams, just waiting for camps to spawn. Looks like neither jungler is going to place down a defensive ward in the top side, which you often see, prepping for invade. This could be really bad news for the Poppy if she doesn't know that that Moist Orchestrum does like to go in and take his enemy jungler's camps.
Absolutely. I want to see him go in early, try to get an early buff. Nice gank. Level 2 or 3 gank as well. Level 2 ganks as a top laner, never expect it. Oh, I always get caught off guard. I always shove first. I know it's not the rookie move, but I always get caught. And I'm like, well, yeah, that was kind of my fault. So.
Not sure if we would expect the top lane. Sion doesn't have any reliable hard CC levels 1 and 2, and Mordekaiser isn't super tanky, but he does have a lot of HP. Not to mention, if he gets his passive off, he's just going to be doing a lot of AoE damage. But mid lane is something that we could see. I wouldn't expect Veigar to be playing extremely safe until Core gets level 3, and then after that he starts backing up in the lane. So that could be something we see.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see that. Get Dolphin up early is definitely the way to go here.
We see both junglers starting bot side. They're going to be doing a rather standard clear. Or, Lee Sin is going to be going to his top side. It's a lot easier for Lee Sin to clear his top lane camps. His only AoE ability is his E. And then aside from that, he's pretty much just punching minions. It's going to be a little tough.
Yeah, look at that.
We see some pretty heavy trading going on.
Yeah. Both doing a lot of damage, but they both have even more health, so it doesn't look
Northwestern's bot lane hits level 2 first, does a little bit of trading, doesn't accomplish a whole lot, but, any damage is better than no damage. Lucian did not come to play. Takes a tower shot.
That is always unfortunate.
Rip. He did a really good trade. It happens every time to me, I swear.
Yes, of course.
We see Moist Orchestrum is pinging the top lane right now. He's looking for a gank. Is he level 3? I think he might be.
Yes, he is actually level 3.
Okay, Mordekaiser has no idea. He is level 3, though, and the Sign is only level 2 still. Poppy is not in range to counter gank. Mort has his passive procced, and we see some action going on right now. He lands the Q. Mort has the flash. Will Lee Sin go after it? He gets it. He ward hops. Flash ease gets the first blood. Does he go down? Winions gets the Lee Sin.
Oh no.
Mort goes down 1 for 1, 2 trades, and Poppy gets a pretty much solo revenge kill on the Scion. And now we see Northwestern going up 100 gold for that. Overall, not the worst play. But, they do get first blood, but they did go down 2-1 for that.
Yeah, would have liked to see Scion just kind of play it safe back there. Didn't contribute a whole lot into attempting to keep the Lee Sin safe, and does give up 300 gold for it.
All right. We do see Lee Sin with a 3-minute pickaxe. That is absolutely monstrous right now in the game. Oh, they predict the E from Caitlyn. Gets the bubble, and Caitlyn goes down to the Nami Ignite. That was insanely good.
Yep, much rather have that go on the Nami than the Lucian now, if we're looking at positives for Ferris.
All right. Absolutely, because if Lucian starts getting ahead, I mean, his ult just goes burr, and your health bar does too.
Absolutely.
Lee Sin is back in bot lane, blows the heal. Nami does not have flash or ignite. The exhaust goes down. I would say the exhaust went down on the wrong person. Nami was pretty much going to die there regardless. And he gets the double kill. Oh my gosh. The aggressive Lee Sin, the pickaxe doing damage.
Absolutely. Very early pickaxe paying off for first state there.
I did not think he could do that. This is why he's the Lee Sin 2 trick and I'm not.
Yeah, very much fair. Jonesy with an early level lead here as well. Don't expect it to be an enormous lead, but something that we hope to scale with over time.
Right. At this point, I would expect, this game to be pretty neutral for the next few minutes. I don't expect anything too crazy to pop off. But you never know what to expect. As I say that, a little brawl starts happening in the top lane. Jonesy does have the HP and XP lead right now. He could continue on with this, and no, he just decides to fall back. Lee Sin goes back mid lane. Veigar has no mana.
Is he gonna get it?
He blows the flash, and he says, "Yeah, I'll take that." He's taking the flash off of every person on Northwestern side.
They are definitely having to play scared there, especially up 3-1.
Right.
Still hasn't even backed and spent his gold.
You know, at this point, I mean, it's only 5.5 minutes in, but if I'm Northwestern, I'm already thinking, okay, we got to ban this Lee Sin
Yep.
game too, regardless.
Yep.
We can't let this keep going. Just too much of a liability at this point, regardless of whether you win this game or not. Oh, Corky is getting ganked by the Poppy. He's caught out. Very low mana.
Scion is there to help.
Scion alts in. Misses by a hair. But Lee Sin is here. He accidentally hits the Veigar cage. And Poppy dodges the Scion Q. Everyone walks out of there alive.
Yep.
Advantage of having a pseudo roaming super right there. You know, you could just get across the map and just help your teammates in a flash.
Absolutely.
You could see a fight from the junglers in the river. Lee Sin lands his Q. He's going to fall back. He doesn't want those problems. We do see Poppy at the bottom center. A lot of HP already.
Yep.
And Lee Sin is sitting on a good amount of gold.
Well. Definitely didn't want to give up an early kill to that Veigar.
Right. He does have the 300 gold shutdown right now. Last thing you want is a late game champion snowballing early game right now.
Absolutely.
Looks like things have gone back to a neutral state. We do see that the Lee Sin is recalling. I don't think Northwestern knows about this. Poppy's going to go clear the ward, and Northwestern does have Prio on bot lane. We could see an early dragon attempt from the Poppy. It looks like she is starting it, I believe. Yep, she's getting blown back, and bot lane will help. This more than likely will be Northwestern's bot lane. I don't think Lee Sin is going to get there in time, not to mention that they did clear the ward. But it looks like Ferris' own bot lane is going to go put a ward on it. They do know that it's happening now. They're going to pull it out. Can Lee Sin steal this first dragon out? You know, it's only first dragon. I wouldn't exactly die for this. Hops the wall, doesn't get it. He's now on the pit. He's got about 8 seconds to sit there, but
they're pinging the question marks on him.
Northwestern just being nice to him to say, hey, you know, we'll let you get away this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the two tanks just big time trading health. The spectator algorithm going, look, big trades happening, but it's a lot of damage. But yeah, I don't think that key went where you wanted, Jonesy. Unlucky.
Looking at CS disparities, you know, we see that mid lane is even across both teams, but on the ADC and the top laner, Northwestern is doing really well, especially in ADC disparity. So a lot of gold on the Lucian compared to the Caitlyn right now. Could see something. Dolphin is doing a decent enough job of dodging skill shots, not dodging everything. Lucian goes in for an aggressive trade. The Nami W gets the Seraphine post flash. Sad. And Lee Sin is now here. We see a 2v3 in the bot lane. Poppy has arrived. Lee Sin is 6. Poppy doesn't stun. Oh, Lee Sin altered her. Little bug in the client right there. Okay, and everyone gets out. We see most alts on both sides going down. Caitlyn isn't 6 yet, but Lee Sin, Lucian, and Nami, and Nami all go out.
Corky just looks so goofy. I know it's an older champ. VFX not quite up to date with the stuff they've done nowadays.
Right, you know, the Riot has been doing a decent enough job. Or hold that, you love Seraphine goes back to lane, instantly gets towered though. Man, that is fun gameplay if you're the Seraphine. Right?
Yeah, you go. I'm under tower. I'm playing safe, but with 3 of them there, it's not really gonna matter.
You know, especially you're thinking like, oh, my ADC's not here. I get to collect all this XP, and you know, hopefully they don't see I'm gonna get the CS too. Poppy's like, nah, we don't do that here.
Absolutely. That Mordekaiser Q doing almost nothing.
Right, you know, if you're playing Mordekaiser, you mostly want to hit the isolation damage on the Q. If not, you know, hitting that plus on a person who's already tanky as is, you're not going to be doing a whole lot of damage. Not to mention Scion has his own shield that's pretty noteworthy, even in the early game.
Absolutely. The shield does a surprising amount of damage when you pop it as well.
It does, if you are allowed to pop it, you know, assuming
Yes.
that you get to pop it before the enemy team pops it.
Mako pushing up here.
It looks like they do spot out the Lee Sin. I think he was clearing a control ward, so that's probably how they know. Lee Sin is sitting in the mid lane, but Corky is at base right now. He does not have TP up. You know, Veigar's flash is going to be up any second now. Not really a gank you want to expect. And Mord goes in for the trade. He gets the solo kill on the Scion. Scion goes for a return kill on it. I don't think he's going to get it.
Yeah, the Mord passive just kind of wiping away that health.
Right, you know, you can just run away and still do damage. Yeah, amazing play from the Scion there. You know, not the Scion, the Mordekaiser there. Not something you really expect all too often to to just be able to early kill a Scion. But
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Didn't get a whole lot with his passive either.
right. We do see that the Poppy is invading the top side jungle right now, stealing the Gromp. We could possibly see a dive on the top lane if they wanted to, but it looks like nah, they're just gonna fall back. Let Mordekaiser reset, spend all the gold. I don't think he has a Riftmaker just yet, but he's probably getting pretty close. He has a blasting wand. Might want to pick up a pink ward or something like that. Oh, he gets cloth armor for some extra armor for the Lee Sin. No problem. Oh wait, I didn't realize Lee Sin actually got the Rift Herald.
Oh, that must have been when they pinged. I didn't
Oh.
notice that either. I can't believe we didn't see.
Oh, that is something. Okay, you know, Lee Sin's so stealthy, he did it behind
The spectators, we can see everything, but not that apparently.
Right. We do see the bot lane was looking for something mid lane. Lee Sin spied it out a bit earlier than they wanted it to be found. Seraphine is up there. Caitlyn's going to be getting solo tower plates, but she doesn't know Poppy is down there. So Caitlyn Poppy 1v1. And Poppy has the Bramble Vest and Ninja Tabby. She's armored up against the early game Caitlyn. And Poppy gives it to the Lucian too. Bad went to worse right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Man's pushed up a little bit trying to get those plates.
Right, you know, the only word he might have had was, you know, really far back in the Dragon Pit. You know, not really where you need to be when you know that your mid laner, your jungler and your support aren't with you and you have no idea where the enemy bot lane or jungler is.
Yep.
Nami's on the verge of dying for this control ward. If she does, it is this early in the game, it is always not worth, especially since Dragon is about to come up, and it looks like both teams want to fight for it.
Looks like Mordekaiser is going to have the teleport while Jonesy will not.
Right, you know, it should be noted that okay, never mind. Lee Sin steals the dragon, but he will die for it. And oh, he put the Herald down mid lane. I didn't realize he did that. He gets some extra plays for him, and he gets a Gore Drinker pretty early on. That's really solid on his part. Well, yeah, like I was saying, you know, it wasn't 14 minutes yet. Neither top laner exactly had unleashed teleport. And Jonesy got a little too careless, got killed by the Mordekaiser there.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he just backed right in front of him. Did he think?
Right.
Not
Like,
quite sure.
He had to know, like, with the way Mordekaiser was positioning, that he was going to go for something like that. I'm kind of surprised he died there, but, I mean, hey, you know, Mordekaiser is just getting kills. You know, he's now 3-1. He's got a 300 goal shutdown. Once he recalls, I expect him to have his Riftmaker.
Yes, absolutely.
We do see that the Lucian does have his finished Gale Force, though, so he has 2 dashes now, a lot of extra damage and mobility. Not to mention he has his finished Berserker's Grief, so he's hitting fast, he's hitting hard. That sound scared me.
Yeah, the Scion ultimate. With the nice stun under the tower.
Right, Mordekaiser's taking a lot of extra damage right now. Could we see Scion get the shutdown goal? Mordekaiser does not have the flash. Scion does. He lands the full power Q, gets the kill shut down on him. And Poppy is gonna, oh, she gets out. Vhagar blows his flash. A bit of a misplay from Moist Ogre Shrooms. Overestimated his damage just a tad bit. Or did he? Never mind.
They are so low.
You know, at the end of the day, he did blow 2 flashes, I guess, so I guess it's not terribly bad.
Yep, Corky able to get out as well.
Right, you know, since it is Hex Soul, you know, Lee Sin does have the Hex Gate to make it easy out. And
No.
the Lucian, you know, as we were saying, 4-on-1, really strong right now. He does get to get the free kill on the Corky. That is Corky's first of the game, sadly enough. Perfect game ruined. Scion is getting ganked by the Poppy right now. Blows his flash, gets blue smited. Will he get out? Mordekaiser's all just came up. Won't be able to use this. Scion gets out of there easy. And Lucian dives, gets the Lee Sin. 5-1 Lucian with a 550 shutdown gold and the first turret. This Lucian is absolutely loaded right now.
Yeah, that Lucian kind of getting out of control.
All right, you know, Northwestern does have almost a 5K gold lead, 15 minutes in the game. That is absolutely massive right now.
Your team's turret has been destroyed.
looking at items right now, we see Sion has a hull breaker, you know, so a sign of he's going to be staying by himself most of the rest of this game. And he's using his hull breaker to his fullest ability right now, just kind of wailing on this Mordekaiser. Never mind, looks like Mordekaiser's going back to winning this trade. He's not going down without a fight. Riftmaker is giving him his HP back. He doesn't care. Looks like they spotted out Lee Sin, or probably guess, I don't know if he was clearing a ward or something, but Lee Sin is going for a gank right now. Mordekaiser does have the R. Could be a little risky. Poppy is here. Oh, the Sion cancels the Mortal.
Okay. How did he do that? Was it just breaking on the last, or what happened?
Yeah, if you break vision line of sight, it does cancel the Immortal. You do see this a lot of times with, say, the Twitch, if Twitch is invis.
Okay.
And it just keeps buffering, like, the invisibility range. Mordekaiser could just keep clicking R and just not having anything happen.
Okay. That's interesting.
Absolutely massive lead on Northwestern right now, and they're going to look to extend this by getting Rift Herald. Lee Sin is still dead. He won't be able to contest this right now. The only person topside is the 0-2 Caitlyn. Like they're just going to hand this off. One thing that we haven't been bringing up recently is that Veigar has pretty much been left to his own vices all game so far, and he's been able to just mostly free stack. That's not something you want to do. Seraphine a bit too far out ahead right now than she should be. Caitlyn gets ulted by the Mord, has nowhere to run, gets killed, and now Mord has Caitlyn's stats. Those auto attacks are going to be doing big damage, but not big enough, it looks like. You know, if I'm Sion here, you know, I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have a Bramble Vest.
Oh, nice play.
He did a really good play. He kicked the Nami over the wall, and he had his Q already on her. And I think the plan was for him to, you know, use the Nami body as a way back over the wall, but he got hit by the Veigar cage, so he couldn't hop back over the wall, and he dies for that right before Dragon comes up. That is going to be Northwestern's second Dragon of this game. Oh, Jones gets pulled back, and he gets killed by the Scion again. 5-2 Scion now on tier 2 tower.
Just farming that wave. Get an extra gold after you die. One of the nice parts of all playing Scion.
Lee Sin, just special delivery service to the Scion.
You're going to win this fight against this guy?
The Caitlyn ult comes out. He blows out the flash. Lee Sin flashes over. And Scion dies to the Seraphine. Not exactly you want the shutdown to go on, but so long as the shutdown goes on, anyone is better than nothing. But Lucian decides to pick up 2 kills in return for it.
Oh, that's definitely not what you wanted to happen with that gold being multiplicative and more gold getting stacked up on that Lucian.
Right, Lucian already has 2 completed items and his finished boots. He is just an absolute monster right now. Yeah, you do not want to just continue giving him any extra gold than you really have to. Like we could, looks like Northwestern's just going to be biding their time right now. They don't know Nami's in that bush, I would assume. Not sure the chances of them killing the Scion solo right now. Oh, the Veigar cage was just pixels off of the Corki.
That looked very much on it there.
And now Veigar is by himself. We see the TP coming out from Mordekaiser. Can he save the... Oh, Lee Sin misses the Q on the Veigar. Veigar gets out alive.
That's not what we want to see.
That was tragic to witness. All right, we do see, yeah, you know, you see the things that we were talking about in a champ select with Moist Orchestrums being a 2-trick, and, you know, you have to decide between banning out the Kha'Zix and Lee Sin, and there's more wiggle room for error between the Lee Sin. That is one of the things there. Oh, Seraphine is caught out in her jungle again, gets ulted by the Mordekaiser. Seraphine blows exhaust, not going to do anything when he's already got you exactly where he wants you. Not where you want to be on Ferris if you're Ferris right now. Right now, you're pretty much, like, at this point, trying to play catch-up and, you know, playing catch-up into a Veigar Lucian. I mean, good luck with that.
Yep, have some fun. Is the Mordekaiser going to be able to get the Corki? Don't believe so.
The Corki does get the Mordekaiser, and Poppy gets the Poppy gets the Lee Sin in return, and Lucian gets another kill on the Corki. He has an absolute massive amount of gold. Can you push X on the keyboard to see how much gold Lucian has? Lucian has 2,500 gold right now.
Boy.
So yeah, when he backs, he's going to be almost an entire item. If he gets a Zeal item, I think if he gets his inhib, that will be an entire Zeal item, if I remember correctly. I don't remember if it's 26 or 2,800. But yeah. You know, you know, if you're Northwestern at this point, just have send everyone back to home, get items, spend all the gold, and then just force a fight at Baron. I mean, what is Ferris going to do to stop you? I mean, Lee Sin going to try to steal you. You have Veigar Cage, and you have Poppy shield to stop any dashes that he has. I mean, like, yeah, Ferris is kind of running out of options at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Not looking good for the Ferris State Bulldogs in this match. Hopefully they can hold their composure.
All right, Nami decides to take all the damage for the Veigar. We hear the Scion all coming out. The Veigar cannot teleport. Seraphine Flash R gets blasted away. Does Veigar get out of life? He gets hit by the Lee Sin Q. Lee Sin says, we don't miss these twice.
Absolutely.
Gets the kill. And looks like everyone else on Northwestern is going to get out of life. He lands the Q on the Pop. You wouldn't expect him to take that, though. Not going to fall for Lee Syndrome. Mordekaiser is by himself in the bot lane right now. And mid lane super minis are crashing on tower. Poppy stops the Lee Sin back. He's by himself now. Does Lee Sin get out of here, actually? He blasts the Poppy over the wall. Poppy knows exactly where he is. And looks like she's going to try to just chase him down. I don't think he gets out of here. Between all the damage and anti-heal that Poppy has, I mean, yeah. And Lucian's here. Does Lucian get this kill too? He
like
does.
That was a lot of damage very quickly from
Right, can we get a gold check before Lucian spends his gold again one more time? 3,600 gold. That is an entire IE should he will it to be in existence if he wanted it to be. Oh, you thought the Lucian was strong now. This
there it is.
He gets the IE.
Ooh. That's not what Ferris State is looking to see when they come back.
Right. Northwestern decides to get the free dragon. This is going to put them on soul point if the game goes on long enough. We could see the Hextech Soul, and yeah, you put a Hextech Soul on Lucian and Mordekaiser, who are already the two most fed people on Northwestern side. That could just be game over right there. I mean, it's kind of a wrap at that point. I mean, like, most people on Ferris are still working on their second item. We have people on Northwestern side nearing their third item, if not already on it, as stated with the Lucian.
Yep.
Right, it does look like everyone on Northwestern side is around the Baron area. It looks like they're going to clash on Scion first, probably head over to the Baron afterwards.
Scion absolutely out of position here.
Scion's already dead at this point. He says, I'm just going to die for this tower. I'm going to die anyway. Or does he get to ult out? They do not position it properly, and Scion is gone. He blows his flash for it, but he does get the tower for it. And that was an objective bounty as well. So
yes,
overall, still a win for Scion. Northwestern says, you know, hey, you can have this tower. We don't care about it. We'll just get this Baron and just overwhelm you anyway.
Tier 1 for Baron, I think that's a good trade.
Right. You know, if it were inhib tower, you know, bit more room for a discussion, but tier 1 tower, 24 minutes in the game, I mean.
Yeah, especially against the Scion.
Right. Not to mention they did still get the flash out of that anyway, so if they did come back later, I mean, hey, it could be a sitting deck. Looks like Northwestern is going to be heading over to the bot side of the map. You know, no reason to be sitting mid lane. Ferris's wave clear isn't the best in the world, you know, but they do have the Caitlyn, they do have the Corki. Still pretty reliable overall, so they're just going to probably just look to get this bot tower instead. Not a whole lot of range on Northwestern side, though. Lucian is known as a short-range ADC, and Veigar isn't all too ranged himself, and you don't really want your Nami stepping forward, like, at all.
Yes.
So, you know, we see Caitlyn setting up traps outside the perimeter of the tower. I mean, Northwestern's really relying on, like, just cannon minions on getting this tower down for them. But we do see that the Mordekaiser gets the tier 2 tower top lane, and no one's still going to contest him yet. So he's just going to continue this push. Looking at him, I didn't realize this, but Veigar decided to go second item death cap. That is a Chad move right there.
Absolutely. Definitely feeling himself here going, hey, I don't need to play super safe for the rest of my team. They're worried more about the Lucian and the Mordekaiser than they are the Vargas at this moment. So,
right, they left him alone pretty much all the early game. I mean, if they're just going to let him get free stacks, then just let him get free stacks.
That's the power.
Lands the 2 abilities, and that's why you get second item death cap on Veigar. Sion ults in, hits the Lucian. Seraphine gets the ult. We see the Wombo coming out from Ferris' side. Lee Sin landed the Q on the Lee Sin, but couldn't do the second part of it before Lee Sin got out of there. Tried to kill the Poppy. She flashes out. Everyone is getting out alive here. Mordekaiser ults Caitlyn. Caitlyn is by herself, and she goes down. That is 1 down for Ferris. One critical person you need, the most range in this game currently, someone you really want to help you hold down these inhibs, hold down these Nexus towers. We could see a triple inhib fall right here. Looks like mid-inhib respawn immediately goes back down, and we do see all 3 inhibs go down now. At this point, looks like Northwestern is just going to reset, spend all they're going to probably just have one final push. If you didn't know, once you get all 3 inhibs down, instead of 1 super minion per wave, each wave has 2 super minions. So that's just compounding, wave upon wave. And not to mention that if a super minion is around regular minions, it beefs up their durability, so it makes them harder to get killed.
Okay, I did not know that last part as well. Good to know, good to know. Yeah, those super minions, especially double super minion waves with Baron buff, they're going to get to your base very quickly.
Right. I don't think Baron is going to be lasting all too much longer, but, at this point it doesn't matter. Dragon's going to be up in less than a minute, I believe, and Northwestern's already setting up for it. Ferris has no wards down in the bot side, so they have no way of contesting this. Nami is just lighting up the area around Baron. Seraphine is by herself right now, pretty far forward. She has to blow her flash early. Lucian doesn't care. He just eases over the wall and gets another kill for her troubles. We see the Poppy get the blue buff. If you didn't see before you reset, the Veigar actually decided to get the top side blue buff. So Veigar is sitting on his own blue buff right now too. So he's just going to be spamming abilities.
The Veigar with blue buff, not something you want to see.
Looks like Poppy's already throwing hands with the dragon. That's going to be falling any second now. And at this point, okay, Caitlyn narrowly dodges the Veigar E. Lucian, will Caitlyn die to the Lucian R alone? No, Lucian backed away just a tad bit too much. Caitlyn gets out alive. Nami stops the Lee Sin Q. Sion a little bit wide, missing both teams. Oh, he's going mid lane? Is he going for the tower? Or no, he's holding the minions back, but it's not enough. Way too many minions in the base. And it looks like it's going to be game 1 for Northwestern, 8-31. Really well played on Northwestern's part, I have to admit. 3-0 on Poppy and 12-1 on the Lucian, 8-4 on the Mordekaiser. Just overall solid plays on Northwestern side.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming back to us here on the desk. Definitely not the look Ferris State wanted after that match. What's something that you think the team can do to play a little bit cleaner on this next match?
That's a good question. At this point, it's hard to single out what was the one really big problem area of this game. Mm-hmm. But I would say you probably want to get more concise ideas of what you want to do. You need Lee Sin was being very proactive, but I feel like he was being proactive in the wrong lanes. He was really trying to influence the top lane a lot. He could have been trying to keep the Veigar down. Sion is an infinitely scaling champion. You would have been able to handle the Mordekaiser by himself eventually. Whereas realistically, you're more than likely want to keep the Veigar down because it's going to take time for him to get online.
Absolutely.
And plus, Lucian. I feel like Lucian wasn't getting focused on either. So I'd say this has more to do with Ferris's prioritizing and decision making as opposed to what went wrong in draft or composition wise.
100% agreed there. Yeah. With that, we're waiting on another invite to the lobby. We are going to head on a short break. We will be back soon.
Alrighty.
Hello and welcome back to Ferris Esports. I'm your host, Coach Eaton, here with questionable. Hey, get it, Mr. Jalen.
As me.
How are you feeling today, Jalen? What do you think of these picks or bans currently?
So far, they're pretty standard. We saw these last games: the Zeri ban, the Victor ban. I don't think Ferris is going to be changing anything up. We do have a slight roster change for Ferris. Now, Mans is going to be tagging out. Karaka is going to be jungle, and Moist Orchestrum is going to be dropping down to ADC.
Okay, I was not aware that Moist Orchestrums had played any ADC, as I've only seen him play jungle in this game.
I didn't know that either, and I know that Karaka does play ADC, so I thought it would be the other way around, but I mean, hey, Ferris has some secret tech. I mean, they want to get the wins, I'm sure, so somehow I'm sure they figured out this was the most optimal path to victory.
Yes, absolutely. Banning out the Vladimir. Dolphin Dade is known to be solid on that Vladimir, so they're like, hey, removing that option.
No one is letting that go through so far. Could we see a first pick Urgot from Ferris? That is a first pick Urgot. Not a bad pick, but not something you necessarily want a first pick.
Yeah, especially top lane with how counterable it is. Interesting to see. I do believe they did ban it out in one of their later bans, so maybe they're just trying to sneak it in under the ban.
It was a round 2 ban, but I think this might just be not like some sort of like placeholder. Like Jones is saying like, hey, I really don't care who I go up against, so you could just pick my champion now. And then that way, like, other lanes see, like, hey, there's a Nami, could see another Lucian, and there it is, Lucian. So now bot lane is like, okay, we have champs suited for this, Early in the day, now that Moist Orchestrums and Mako is in the bot lane, they were talking about Rengar, Ivor, and bot. Not sure how serious they were on it, but, I would pay good money to see that on the stream right now. Yeah, I'm not sure what ADC's Orchestrums plays. We see the Lux come out.
The Lux ADC is.
No, it's a Jhin ADC and Lux support. Lux does play very similar to Morgana, who Mako does play. So, not too surprised to see this out. A little bit more surprised that they didn't just decide to pick the Morgana, which she is more known for playing, but. I mean, effectively, they do accomplish the same goal. It's just, do you want more damage or do you want immunity to CC? So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They banned the Corki out here as well.
Right. The Veigar pick is gone. They said, we're not dealing with we gave you Lucian Mordekaiser. We're not giving you this Veigar too. It's not happening.
Yep.
Nothewestern so far has the exact same team comp. Like, hey, we just steamrolled them last game. Like, if it worked so well last game, we don't need to change anything. And Ferris is like, all right, we got steamrolled. We have to change everything. And Nothewestern just terrified of Dade. He's pulling 4 bans right now.
That's actually, yeah, they're like, okay. We saw you do that. They definitely really didn't want to play against that Kazakh. I'm not sure if they were aware of the role swap there.
Right.
So they banned out that Kazakhs. But yeah, really just saying, hey, we're not going to let Dolphin Dade play the game. Right. At least comfortably.
Right. We do see the Veigar and Yon banned out for Ferris, and I'm not sure if the Aurelia is also a mid lane ban or a top lane ban. So that could be 2 to 3 bans on Northwestern's mid laner, but still like at this point, like, hey, he's digging deep, and now Mans can't even stick Dade on the Corki since they didn't pick that up early enough. We're going to be seeing a jungle Hecarim possibly. Really strong pick right now is with his Chemtech Manamune build. He's really tanky and does a ton of damage right now, and he's pretty much unstoppable. He's especially unstoppable in his ult, and that gets locked in. We see Syndra being hovered right now for the mid lane pick.
How do you feel about that Syndra Zed matchup? I hate Zed. Every time I think I figured out what he does, I go to gank him, and he does something different, and I die. So still figuring that one out.
That is pretty heavily Zed favored. That it should be noted that could be a Zed jungle, actually. He is really strong in the jungle right now, so that is more of a flex pick. And Northwestern could decide now, like, hey, is our mid laner comfortable with the Zed mid? And looks like it is going to be a Zed mid, and it's going to be a Lee Sin jungle. Is that what we're seeing?
Ooh, so Northwestern deciding to pick up the Lee Sin, going, hey, we saw you do it. You think that's cool? Here, check it out.
Right, and they decide to do it. So, back to what you're saying about the Zed versus Syndra. Zed does extremely well into Syndra, because he can dodge her one and only CC he can either dodge that or he can dodge her point and click, big burst damage. All it's pretty much a Vagar, all just not as good at scaling. But yeah, Zed does just do really well. He has all his gap closures, so much mobility. He can just dodge his balls, dodge Syndra's balls. I mean, and like, yeah, and plus his roam potential is just absolutely monstrous and terrifying. So if you're Jin, like, you're shaking in your boots, you don't want to see a Zed.
Absolutely. Coming back to us here on the desk while they get the in-game picks bands kind of sorted out here. What lane should we be watching here from the Fair State side?
Seeing as they insta first pick the Urgot, I do want to see, like, does Jones have some secret tech? That's obviously got to be like confidence move. You almost never see someone first pick a top laner unless the top laner is just like extremely broken.
Absolutely.
Say Darius right after the Juggernaut rework in like season 6.
Right.
But Urgot, I don't think Urgot is in that position. He's good right now. I don't even know if he's like strong in the series. He's just good as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to see, what Jonesy does differently with the Urgot as opposed to what he did with the Sign. Urgot is a ranged top laner, a short range top laner, but range nonetheless against a melee top laner. So he can harass and bully the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that's something that Jonesy feels comfortable going, hey, I'm feeling comfortable on the Urgot. Let's open up some pressure for the other lanes. And I think they looked at the champ pool for mining the bubble and went, hey, I'm comfortable playing against any of his champs on Urgot. So it doesn't matter what he plays, I'll beat it on the Urgot. So give it to me, and let's see how he comes on swinging here.
Right. Something else of note, we do see Karaka as jungle now, and not Moist Ogre Shrooms. Moist Ogre Shrooms is known for being an extremely aggressive jungler, whereas Karaka is a lot more like thoughtful in how he wants to impact the map, and he does take things like, he's not like a power farm jungler, but he does take things a bit more slowly. So yes, I would expect to see less invades, possibly less ganking. I don't think he's going to be ganking mid at all. I think that's just pretty much a lost cause. But there is a lot of CC in the bot lane, and with how crazy Lucian was going last game, I would expect the Hecarim's to just be sitting by all game long. And there is also the possibility of just ganking the Urgot early too, because Urgot does get his. Urgot is known for getting his E level 2, which is a lot more reliable to CC than Sion's Q was last game.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, I would expect Hecarim to be focusing more so on the top and bot half of the map. If you're at least Sin in this game, I mean, you're probably going to be ignoring top lane. Your Mordekaiser doesn't have a really solid way of helping you fight the Urgot. Urgot can just run away and just dodge the Mord E.
Yep.
And, your Zed would be extremely helpful in, you getting the Syndra. She has an extremely hard time CCing more than one person. And the CC in bot lane is also rather unreliable. So if you're Lee Sin, mostly just focusing on mid lane, in my opinion, maybe focusing bot lane, you do see 2 immobile champions down there.
Yeah, for sure. With that Jhin pick, I know that's one of your favorite picks. How do you feel again with this Jhin Lux versus this Lucian Nami?
This is an extremely hard lane for Jhin. Lucian is already one of the best matchups for Jhin alongside Ferris, say, and Draven. People get in your face and just do a ton of damage, especially in the early game. Jhin does not have a lot of damage early game.
Yep.
Lucian, he gets his passive off. He starts proccing PTA. I mean, Lux Shield is only going to do so much. Not to mention Nami going to be amping him up, and I believe she went Electrocute last game. That starts proccing. Yeah, this is a really, really difficult lane for Ferris on the bot lane.
Yeah, absolutely. While we wait for the spectator delay, we'll toss it over here to a fun little video, and we will be back after this.
Ready.
Hey Bulldogs, it's Move-In 2020. Let's see how the students are getting settled in.
welcome back to the match here today. Definitely fun seeing all the skins from both teams here. But that Blood Moon Jin being a fantastic one as well. What's your favorite Jin skin here, Jalen?
My favorite Jin skin, it'd probably be Galaxy Slayer. I wear that one either that one or High Noon.
Okay.
I like the chromos on that skin a
Yes,
lot.
Galaxy Slayer is the skin that I rock when I play Jin as well. So fantastic. But we will head into game here.
Right. When we were looking at summoner spells in the champ select, I did see that number one, Hecarim had the ghost. That is pretty helpful for him. Hecarim does get bonus damage based on his move speed, but it isn't uncommon to see him go flash just so he can like hop walls and stuff without having to use his R, or if his R is on cooldown.
Yep.
And the Lux does get exhaust. I assume for the Zed, as we stated, Zed is going to have a really easy time in lane. Ferris is looking for an early invade, spots out the Lee Sin. Lee Sin sees them a bit early too, and Ferris doesn't accomplish anything. Just going to drop some wards in their jungle. Jones is going a tad bit aggressive, giving the Nami some free gold towards her sight stone.
Good play, Jones.
I mean, like, if you're going to recall anyway, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. We see Jin started Boots, which isn't the worst thing in the world against Lucian, but he only bought 2 pots. I don't think he realized that when you start Boots, you actually have 200 X gold and not 100. So he actually could have bought 2 more pots, which is a really big advantage for starting Boots, is just having all those extra pots. So one of the reasons why people start Longsword, you have 3 pots as opposed to 1 or 2.
Yep. But yeah, definitely. Maybe they're like, hey, we're feeling good about getting those boots early, saving that gold up. Gonna do it early back and try to.
Right, it's gonna help him get those ninja tabbies, which he's gonna be needing this game early.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we see both junglers starting bot side. Looks like Northwestern did get a ward. Oh wait, no, that is Ferris. Ferris got a ward on their own blue buff, just in case anyone was gonna be the Lee Sin was gonna be trying to steal Hecarim's blue buff. It looks like everyone is just taking things pretty slowly. A little bit of trading going on in all lanes, but nothing too crazy. Dolphin's playing aggressively while he can, because once the Zed turns 6, I mean, at that point, just got to back up, do nothing. Jones hits level 2 before the Mordekaiser. Doesn't use it, though. Northwestern hits level 2 before Ferris does. Moist Orgashroom is attempting to dodge the Nami Q preemptively. Nami holds it and doesn't throw it out, and he dies for it. Doesn't use his flash, but blows his heal.
Jonesy getting dangerously low. That Q's gonna come back.
Mordekaiser lands off flash Q, and Northwestern is up 2-0 across the map.
Looking good for Ferris State here.
Off to a bad start, and on 2 people you really don't want dying early game. Because once these people fall behind, especially the Jin, I mean, he has such a hard time catching up. But yeah, both of them, they do rely on their items for damage. We see that Jonesy isn't too far behind his CS. He did get to TP. He did get the luxury of being able to TP back to lane.
Absolutely. That TP is so valuable, especially now that they nerfed it, so you can't get it. You can't, have the option to go bot. It's always just used to go back to lane.
Ooh, a bit of anti-synergy there. Karaka actually pulled the Lee Sin out of the Syndra stun, and Zed ignites, gets the fadeaway kill for that. Such a tragedy to watch.
Yeah, Ferris State going down 3-0, already down 1.6k gold at 3 minutes 40 seconds. Not what you want to see.
Right, not an insurmountable hill to climb. We've seen Ferris come back from worse here, of course. Lee Sin taking up after Moist Orgashroom was like, hey, I like what you were doing last game. I want to try it out myself. But it doesn't work out as well. Doesn't even take the Syndra's flash.
Nice E there from the Mordekaiser to chuck the Urgot away.
Right.
That fadeaway E. Instead of bringing people towards you, throws them away.
Oh, we see Lux get hit by the Q. Jin is just doing big damage. 4-shot. Oh, okay. Doesn't exactly get the kill off. There is no ignite on the Lux, so that she can't exactly flash ignite auto the Lucian, which I'm pretty sure would kill. Lucian does still have heal up as well. It should be noted. Karaka is here to gank. Northwestern does not know. Nami is going down. gives it over to the Jin. He's going to hunt down the Lucian. He's going to get away. He still has his flash. He did blow his heal in an attempt to save the Nami. Didn't work out as planned. And we see now that the ADCs are tied 1-1. Only difference is Lucian was sitting with that first blood gold. And he gets an early Noon Quiver. Lee Sin is top lane. Lands the Q on the Urgot. Urgot already dashed. He might have to flash this. Lee Sin does have his flash as well. That could be the end. And Lee Sin miscalculates his damage. He thought the burn would kill him, but he did not. One more auto attack would have put him in dirt. But he gets hit by the pixels on Mordekaiser's E. Mord is now 2-0 against the Urgot. And Urgot doesn't have TP this time, so he's going to miss this entire wave. Urgot is he going to get a tower too? No, he doesn't know where Karaka, the hack room, is. So he just decides, hey, you know, I got what I needed. I'm just going to reset, get, I don't even remember the name of it, that one item that builds into Riftmaker that heals you.
Yep. So, you know what I think would have worked against this Mordekaiser? The Assassin Garen.
The Assassin Garen would have done damage. I can tell you that much.
Gotten the kill? Not sure. Done damage? Absolutely.
Oh, at least Jin has to blow his flash, and he gets out of there. Oh, the Lux didn't pop her, I think it's her E beforehand, so it doesn't get the stun off on Lucian. But no matter, at the end of the day, Jin does live. The boots came in clutch there. Yes. Zed ults, gets blown back, but doesn't get really CC'd, and he doesn't do enough damage to the Syndra. Could have been played better, but also could have been played worse. Nice attempt from the Zed. You know, you always love to see a Zed in competitive matches, all right? So seeing him do anything, you know. Another thing is we see him start early Lucidity boosts, which not a bad choice in getting Lucidity boosts, but a bit confusing that he got that first item before getting his serrated Dirk against the Syndra.
Yeah, having your cooldowns back is nice, but not when they don't do a whole lot of damage.
Right, you know, this early game, you're mostly looking for short trades anyway, so, I mean, like, having 10% extra CDR, not going to make or break a kill most of the time. Mako attempts to go for something, gets caught out. Jin gets hit by the bubble and goes down to the Lucian, who is now 2-0, 7 minutes in the game. Northwestern is up about 2K gold right now. Zed gets hit. Caracas is mid lane. He ulted. Zed has to use his W. He has no flash. Caracas is still looking for something. Lee Sin is here to help the Zed get out of here. Zed is gonna keep fighting. He ignites him, and the Hecarim goes down. Oh man, you know, I appreciate the aggressiveness from Caracas. It looks like he has Ghost up. I'm not sure why he didn't, you know, at least attempt to use that for extra bonus damage, but yeah. Ooh, Jonesy's getting a little beat up in the Shadow Realm right now, but Mordekaiser isn't exactly ready to tower dive him yet. He doesn't think he has it taken. Jones learned his lesson, you know, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
Yep, wasn't able to barely make it back into tower range as well.
Karaka spots the Lee Sin taking his red, couldn't get his red buff in time. He ghosts this time. Lee Sin kicks him over the wall. And that is one of the downsides of not having flash. Zed ults to neg the CC, goes for the kill, doesn't land his Qs. Lux spots him out, gets the kill on the Zed Lux carry. Will we see a Dark Seal from the Lux?
Shield that the Lee Sin there. I can't say that I haven't done that myself. So.
You know, I'd be lying if I said I haven't either. Right? I stopped playing Lux for a reason. I'll just say that much.
Oh, absolutely.
Lux is a bit far ahead, misses her E, but, you know, the Lucian decides to stop pressing the advance. Nami is looking to get this pink ward that's going to be in the bush. She doesn't get it. Going to lose her ward for that. Not the worst thing in the world, though. Urgot going for a strong trade against the 2-0 Mordekaiser, and he's winning pretty well right now. Okay, now HP bar is back to being about even since he got hit.
Mordekaiser W.
Yeah. But, you know, hey, when you're down 0-2, I mean, any trade that you go out even is ahead. He flashes on the Mordekaiser, and Alt doesn't get the kill off. And Lee Sin is there. He makes sure he puts him in the dirt. Jin just barely doesn't get the kill on Lucian. Lucian uses his heal. Not, I didn't think it was all too necessary for him to do so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Might have been a misclick there.
Right. Probably, maybe just a better safe than sorry thing. Maybe he thought that, things were going to go worse. Hecarim with the solo kill on the Lucian. I mean, not the Lucian, the Lee Sin. I'm getting just all the names wrong in this game.
To be fair, those are very close. Yeah, Ferris down 4.3k gold already here in this match.
Right. Looking at the bot lane, that is where a lot of the gold is concentrated. Lucian has 3 kills, and he got 3 plays in the bot lane. He is just stacked right now.
Oh.
And he's looking for the kill on Lucian. And change that to 4 kills. I just don't get to say how many kills he has before he gets another one. He has 1,600 gold. That's almost going to be, a finished Nooncore Vibe when he gets back. Zed is top. We see a 2v2 coming out. Zed looking for the plays, going for the highlight. Doesn't exactly get it. But, he gets the Mordekaiser, 2 more kills, 5-0 Mordekaiser. He has a 400 gold shutdown.
Yeah, this Mordekaiser is looking pretty beefy now.
Right, he's just going completely Super Saiyan, not a whole lot. Ferris is just, you can't even run away from him since, if he just throws you in the shadow room, you're working with a limited distance.
Yep.
Yeah, we see the TP from Urgot back to top lane, try to recover some of these minions that he's just been losing this game. He's looking for something aggressive, prioritizing trading the double buff Urgot over the minions. Not too sure about this one, Chief. Yeah, just TP'd back to lane. He's already half HP. Not a good sign, If you're Urgot, you're probably just clear this wave and then have to reset again if you think the Mordekaiser's TP, if you make an accurate assessment, because, you're probably not shoving the wave in fast enough. Or it looks like he decides to stay in lane. We do see both junglers bot side in preparation for the dragon that just spawned here.
Yeah, this is going to be...
Ferris does have priority for it, but Ferris doesn't have any wards they can put on it. They're mostly just relying on Lux using her abilities. We see an all-in from Syndra, ults to Zed. Zed flashes away. Can't flash a Syndra R, but, he still gets out of there no matter what. Urgot gets pulled back. He has no flash. That's a dead Urgot. He gives away a little bit of taunting from Mordekaiser. Oh, just Lucian covered the entire screen. Flashes over the wall for the Lux. And do we see a dive here? The minions aren't under tower. No, they're not. If you do want to dive there, you have to send someone behind the tower. Probably the Lucian just say, hey, you're going to stay under the tower or I'm going to solo kill you. But, yeah, we could see a trade on the other side since Nothewestern did get their second dragon of the game. Ferris is going to be getting the Herald, and they could use that to get some early plays, get some early gold back in their pockets. Jin is by himself under this tower. Nami ults, doesn't land. Lee Sin ults, that does land. Jin flashes, he heals, doesn't matter, it's not enough. Lucian ults and gets the kill on the Jin, and he gets the first tower. Just racked up. Karaka back on the map. He's top lane going for the Mord. He doesn't care. Zed with the solo kill on the Syndra. No ignite necessary.
You good, Karaka? Not sure what was happening there.
He was waiting for the Mord to come out of the Shadow Realm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes complete sense. I didn't see the Shadow Realm effect. I was like, feels like he's throwing. Okay, no, not able to do anything there.
Right, and we see Urgot got the 700 gold shutdown on the Mordekaiser, so I don't know if he's back in the game per se, but he's actually capable of doing things now. Zed tries to get the kill, he ignites the Hecarim, Hecarim just ults away, he gets out of there. Lux and Jin are over here, but not, oh wait, that was Urgot, I thought that was Mordekaiser. Jin lands the W, and Lux gets the kill that she rightfully deserves. Sadly enough, she didn't get the Dark Seal, she's not going to be stacking her Magi's anytime soon.
Yeah, unfortunate there. But Ferris picking up a couple more kills and feeling a little bit better about themselves going into this next fight.
Right, just closing this lead any way they can, not necessarily making desperation plays, but Lucian looks for something aggressive. The Gale Force plus all his passive damage. Like I was saying in Champ Select, Lucian is one of the best counters to Jin, is a really, really hard lane. Not to mention that Lucian Nami is just really strong overall. We see Hecarim mid. He doesn't have the R. He blows the Lucian heal. And he also doesn't have any real follow-up. And the Nami gets the kill with the Ignite. Syndra TP'd in to attempt to help, doesn't accomplish too much. And the wave's going to go back to a mostly normal state. Nami, going to just be healing up the Lucian back to pretty much full HP.
Absolutely.
Yeah, looking at these items, you see, all the carries on Northwestern's side sitting at 1.5 items, whereas some of the people on Ferris' side are still working towards their first item. So, yeah, really, really hard game right now. We do see the Hullbreaker first item from Jones. That does help out in the 1v1 against Mordekaiser. But when you're down 2 levels and Mordek has his level 2 all, he's just stealing stats.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck. Zed's level 11 to the level 7 Jin. If at any time he just decides, what, I've had enough of you. I don't want you
Yeah,
dead.
that's going to be game over for the squishy ADC.
Zed W's over the wall, goes for the Urgot. Urgot flashes the wall, and he gets out alive. Jin attempts to all, but the Lucian doesn't care. He goes for it. He says, "You're literally a sitting duck as far as I'm concerned." Mordekaiser ults the Hecarim. He gets taken out. Lucian takes out the Nami. I'm not even sure where that was going on. Just so much happening in just a short amount of time.
Yep. Lucian 9-0 again, sitting on another 2,500 gold.
They're sitting racks on racks, man.
Yeah, that is this game is looking pretty out of control so far for Ferris State. It'll be a tough one to come back.
Right, Ferris, Ferris does scale, rather decently. Hecarim, as we stated, his build allows him to scale really strong. Jin is an amazingly well-scaling ADC, and they don't have anyone on Northwestern side who can necessarily, wall Jin and make it so that he can't do anything, but they do have people who make Jin's life a lot more difficult than it needs to be, such as the Zed, the Mordekaiser, things like that.
Yep. Even that Lucian, just if you get out of position a little bit, he's so far ahead now that he'll just kind of blow you up.
Right. Mordekaiser just being a terror on the Rift, just now he's over here counter jungling Kraka and not letting him get any of his camps.
Yeah, I see the top lane wave shoved up. I'm just going to go take your farm.
Looks like people are going to start trying to collapse on his Mordekaiser. They've had enough of him and his incessant bullying. But Lee Sin's like, hey, Mord, you might just have to take this out and die so we can get this dragon. Lux lands a full combo on Nami and only does about half of her HP. That is not too well. Lux is one of the more higher damaging supports. So, if you play her and you're not doing a whole lot of damage, then you kind of don't have a support right now.
Yeah, because that's where the utility, a lot of the supports have specific utility, and Lux seems to be, you got a stun here and there, but mostly that damage.
Right, her Q does go a really far distance, but it is really slow.
Oh, and that's what I mean. The Jin just like, oh, hey, look, I'm a little bit safe here. Nope, you're erased from the rift.
Right. You would think that, okay, I gotta, be fearful of the Zed watching, but no, Lucian says, I have my flash, I have my E, I have my Gale Force. I can cover the entire map in 1.1 seconds.
Yeah. So much damage so quickly.
Looks like the Zed is trying to come TP, he ults the Urgot. That's a dead Urgot. I don't see any way he gets out of this. He's already down 1-6. He just gets out by just, frames that Urgot doesn't get to steal, permanently steal his stats at small W, I guess. But, seeing as Urgot did get the kill in the shutdown on the Hecarim earlier, his gold was reset, so worth for Mord. And Hecarim attempted to do something, didn't exactly go as planned. Lucian said, okay, you're coming to me.
Yeah, he just hand-delivered red buff to the Lucian.
Right, not sure that's exactly what you want to do, but all right. The idea. Zed flashes in on the Syndra. Syndra misses her stun. That's a dead Syndra. And Syndra is down and out. Zed is Zed, he sees all of his teammates shining. He's like, I want some of the fame. I want people to notice me.
Absolutely.
Oh, we see Zed going for the Urgot again. Urgot a bit too far forward. He's going to try to die for this tower. Doesn't exactly get it. And we see 4 people on the top side of the map. This could be second Rift Herald on the side of Northwestern. I'm not sure if Lee Sin is pathing over there. It looked like he was pathing towards bot. He's going back down there now. But, it's not unrealistic for Northwestern bot lane to just solo this. I mean, they can 2v1 the Hecarim right now.
Yeah. This is not looking good for Ferris.
Right.
Quite a lot of wards and vision from Northwestern as well. Ferris, not a lot of farm left up on the map. Not a lot of places they can even go to get the farm where they're not just going to get blown up.
Right. You know, if you were looking at the minimap a second ago, Zed had W'd over the wall and accidentally spotted out the Jhin. I would have been extremely happy that he didn't just immediately ult me right there. But yeah, you know, Jhin does live to see another CS, I guess. Oh,
Lucian coming up.
Lucian finds his next target is going to be the Urgot. He lands pretty much his entire ultimate and only does half HP. A little bit surprised on that, but at the end of the day, I mean, you know, a 13-0 Lucian, you're going to die. Like,
yeah, it's, you know, it's a...
Right, and there's
a lot of health and
there's the ult from Zed. Once you get ulted as Zed and your Jhin, you have no flash. I mean, what are you going to do at that point?
Yep.
Jhin is still working on his ninja tabbies at this point. I mean, like...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Lucian's almost completed IE, and...
Right, that is an IE when he decides to reset on a 14-0 Lucian. Yeah, at this point, this is pretty much game over. With how snowbally League of Legends is right now, I'm not too sure what Ferris's win cons at this point are.
I think they're playing to get some more kills. Everybody, you know, get Day to kill in there. Make sure nobody drops a goose egg, and then go home with your egos intact.
Right. You
Yeah,
know, like
16K gold lead at 21 minutes.
Right. Like, you know, not having a kill is one thing. Not having any KP is an entire separate thing.
Yeah, that's true. Not something you want to see out of your AP mid lane as well.
Yeah. On the bright side, he's up CS. That's a W, right?
Yes, hey, we take those Ws when we can get them. Chunking the Mordekaiser, and by chunking I mean 2 people taking about a fifth of his health bar.
He's getting CC chained. He can't move. I mean, doesn't matter. It's not like they're going to step up towards him anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he's even too worried about going anywhere.
Hey, Lux steps up speaking as a devil.
And off screen, yeah.
Thank you, client, for not showing that. Not sure that would have been stream appropriate.
Yeah, that was not. No bueno there.
Lucian is just picking on this Jhin. Does not want him playing the game. Could we see his Flame Horizon in the bot lane? It's looking like it's approaching that point.
If I'm the Lucian, I go for it. Anytime I get the opportunity to Flame Horizon, which actually isn't more than you'd think, I take that opportunity.
Right, Urgot solo killed the Zed. I'm not sure how he did that, but we take those.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
And under his tower, nonetheless. That had to be quite a misplay on Zed's behalf, if I were to assume. Lux attempting to do damage from Mordekaiser. Hecarim all in. Didn't work out as planned. Blows the flash. Could we see a kill for the Hecarim? He's taking damage. Hecarim gets the shutdown. Nami's taking big damage. Oh, almost gets the kill on the Nami.
That Lux Q, or Lux R, sorry, didn't even break through the Mordekaiser's shield. That's not what you want to see.
That is not at all. Jhin, you're on the map. You're on Lucian's screen. That's too close, buddy. You don't get the luxury of being in CS range.
Yeah, that's unfortunate there.
We are 10 CS away from a Flame Horizon. Lucian flashed and dashed forward and used his passive on a minion. Tragedy.
He really wanted that one.
You really did. It's a slight misplay, but you know, you're 18-0. I mean, what is a misplay at this point? Like,
yeah. There's
Lucian's passive by itself is doing more damage than like Lux's entire combo. So,
yep.
like, do we see a shutdown? Oh, he dodges. Hecarim gets the shutdown. Does not let the Lucian get a perfect game. Let's go. Lots of shutdowns on that Hecarim if you've been keeping track of that.
Yeah. Karaka just got done pitching his capstone, I believe, as well. So his brain's feeling mighty big right now, and he's showing that off with getting the most kills on Fair Stage.
You gotta flex. You know, he wasn't in game 1. He wasn't able to save game 1, so he was like, hey, you know, if someone's going to be noteworthy, I guess it'll be me. And I didn't realize this. I thought they were only on Snow Point. Northwestern actually got Dragon's Soul. Yeah. So they're actually sitting on Mount Soul. So not only are they doing just insane amount of damage, they just have like a permanent shield.
Yeah.
And
that Lucian's going to be nigh impossible to kill now.
Yeah, and Lee Sin giving shields to his teammate. Mordekaiser has his own built-in shield that he stacks up whenever he wants. He comes out. He has Urgot ult. he stopwatches. Will he be able to get out of life? He
That is
heals
good.
back up to half HP. He is unstoppable. The freight train does not stop for anyone. Jin is doing his best, and now it's
he
Zed's
gonna
turn.
get- nice.
He gets the Zed. Zed is not having a good time.
Yeah, Zed
He-
getting a little bit cocky there.
Yeah, he got solo killed by the Urgot in the top lane. He struggled, to kill the Syndra in the mid lane a couple times. He just got killed by the Jin. I mean, could have been a bit better on his part. And looks like Northwestern just has an easy out to just end the game right here.
Definitely that multi-ban on Dade paying off with him not even getting 1 KP.
All right, 0-4-0, super sad. But,
He did come out positive in CS, so we take those W's when we can get them.
overall, very, very short game. Not all too close. Not really what you want to see if you were rooting for Ferris here. But very well played on Northwestern side. They knew what their win cons were, and they performed admirably.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great little match there from the Ferris State team. Northwestern definitely came out ready to swing, and they made that happen here. Any final thoughts? What Ferris State can this version of the Ferris State team can do headed into? I believe they're done with the season now after this game. And we're still waiting to see if we make playoffs. It's not looking very likely as well. So
Right. I believe we're 3-4 now with this game, with being a loss. I believe.
correct. Before that game, I believe we're in a 13 or 14 way tie for 4th place, and top 6 make it. So, that's a long way to fall if a couple of those other teams.
Right, it's what happens. If you ever play Kahoot, you're in first place, you get one question wrong, and then all of a sudden you're in 20th place, and you don't know what happened.
Absolutely. But great work from all the Bulldogs out here today. Glad we got to play some games, have some fun. We are going to head to a little break. We will probably be back with some Call of Duty.
All right.